So next thing we're going to take a look at is the interfaces on the two devices, and the first thing you'll notice from the iPad device, the iPad Pro, is that it looks exactly the same as the iPads have always looked. So you've got the familiar tile layout. It's quite a surprise to me that Apple haven't yet taken a step to update the iOS operating system and refresh that screen, because I think it really does need a refresh now, having seen many of the other devices on the market. One thing they have added though is this screen on the left hand side, which shows a Siri view of kind of things that you may be interested in. For example, the latest news articles, very similar to what Microsoft did with Cortana. If I take a quick flick back across here now, I can open up, for example, Microsoft Word, which I have activated on the iPad. One new feature is this ability to pull applications in from the side. Quite a useful one. So if I've got here, I've got my PowerPoint application open here, and I can then obviously open up the slides that I'm particularly interested in, or I could flick through to something else. So bringing in another application is actually quite easy on here. It just requires a drag down from the top, and I quite like that feature. Putting Excel side by side, very quick and easy. One thing you will notice if you're a frequent user of products like Microsoft Office is that the feature menu is very limited on the iPad Pro, and that's by design. Microsoft want you to have the best operating system on Microsoft products on a Microsoft device. And of course, the side-by-side Windows feature has been available since Windows 8.0 within the Windows operating system family. And also with Microsoft now, with Windows 10, we have the ability to snap 4 windows side-by-side. On the iPad, it's simply 2. I have to say, it's not a feature that I would use heavily on a Surface or an iPad Pro device if I was using either, unless I was attaching it to an external screen. Because really, to get the best benefit from having applications side-by-side, you need a lot of screen estate to do that. So next we're going to take a look at the Surface Pro device and look at some of the similar features. So looking at Cortana first of all, when I open up Cortana, it will automatically bring in for me news articles, very similar to what we just saw on Siri there, things that we might be interested in, and it's a quick at a glance kind of look at your world and your diary and things like that as well will be pulled into that. Looking at the actual layout of the interface, mine's fairly tidy. I've got mine organised in various different groups. So I've got my business applications, I've got my utilities, I've got things like personal and news and media. Obviously, if you're doing that on the iPad Pro, what you'd probably do is you'd have separate screens for those particular sets of icons, but I can see everything on one screen here. I also have the ability to customize the icons to choose what size I want them to be, and I can have them even smaller than these devices. So you can see some of the icons are quite large, like my mail application, which I'll use quite regularly, and some of them are quite small, like the PowerPoint ones down here, and perhaps the Maps application. If I wanted to do something similar like the side-by-side applications, first of all, if I open up my Word document here, which I've obviously got preloaded, if I then decide I want to actually put that into side-by-side mode, if I pull it from the side a bit like we did in the iPad Pro, I actually get the message center from Microsoft, which shows all of my various options here. I can turn it out of tablet mode, I can switch on and off Wi-Fi and various other features, so it's basically access to the settings, but in a very quick way. I also get alerts from all my applications appearing in here as well, so that's quite a useful thing. So how do I actually put this into side-by-side mode? I simply take it from the top and then move it across to the left-hand side. I then get the choice immediately of what I'd like to tile it against, so I can see everything quickly and easily at a quick view there. So in this case, I'm going to put Excel side by side with my Word application, and you can see there I now have my Excel application open, and obviously I have my Word application side by side. I can choose how big or how small I make those, similar to what we saw on the iPad. And obviously, if I was perhaps just looking at a news feed from a website, I might have it just in a very narrow window. Again, it's not a feature that I'm going to use heavily on either device if I was using either of them for a long period of time. The likelihood is it would be when I'm projecting to an external screen that these features become quite useful.